All right, so we're at 5:30, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. First of all, I just wanted to say congratulations to Eric and Garfield on your reelection. Looking forward to working with you for another term. I'll go ahead and get the meeting started. This is our annual reorg meeting and then pass off the meeting to our chair. So okay, pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL Chapter 30A, Section 18, and Governor Healy's March 29th, 2023 revised order extending remote participation by all members in any meeting of a public body. This meeting of the Select Board will be conducted both in person and via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website, www.townofgb.org. Committee members and members of the public may attend this meeting in person or remotely. Instructions for remote access can be found on the top of this agenda. Every effort will be made to ensure that those attending remotely can access the proceedings in real time via technological means. Pursuant to MGL 7C30A, Section 20F, after notifying the chair of the public body, any person may make a video or audio recording of an open session of a meeting of a public body or may transmit the meeting through any medium. At the beginning of the meeting, the chair shall inform other attendees of such recordings. Any member of the public wishing to speak at the meeting must receive permission of the chair. The listings of agenda items are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Who do we have recording tonight?
The Edge. I usually say the Eagle because they usually come on.
Yeah, and the town of Great Barrington.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get right to reorganization. I'll look for a motion to elect a chair.
I'll make a motion to elect Steve Bannon as chair of the select board.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sounds like it's unanimous. Steve, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Do I have a motion for vice chair?
I'll make a motion to elect Lee Davis as vice chair.
Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. And we'll go over the liaison list. So typically what I've done is if you're on it as a liaison and want to stay, unless someone has a reason to object, just tell me you want to stay. Garfield, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund. You want to stay on that? Okay, so Garfield will be that. Berkshire Regional Planning Commission is Pedro Malcolm, so that's really not ours.
I'll confirm that with them.
Yeah, thank you. Ben, Berkshire Regional Transit Authority.
Yes.
Okay. Lee, CPC, Community Preservation Committee.
I will, I'm gonna elect to step off it, because of my conflict with working for Construct, which is the affordable housing nonprofit, so.
I will be glad to do it, but if someone else wants to do it, I'd be glad to let them.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anyone raise their hand, so I will take that one.
Sounds good.
And I do say it ahead of time because Lee had the problems. The only time I will have to recuse myself that I know of right now is the Historical Society because I'm on the board. I don't know if they'll apply every year or not. Cultural District Commission, Ben,
So good.
perfect. Who's the Town Improvement Committee? It says Eric, but it's really Eric and Ben right now.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll,
Okay, I'll add Ben to that list.
yeah. Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force, Lee.
Yes.
Open Space and Recreation Committee, Eric.
Yes.
Planning and Select Board Subcommittee, Garfield and Lee.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sick Bank Committee, Eric.
Sure.
And finally, Lee would be the W.E.B. Du Bois Legacy Committee with Garfield as the alternate.
Yes.
Perfect. That's a very quick reorganization. So next, we're going to go into executive session to return to open session. So first motion is to go into will be to go into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3 for the following purpose: to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation of position of the public body and the chair so declares, which I do. Lee, do I have the motion?
I move that the board meet in executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A3 for the following purpose: to discuss strategy with respect to litigation, Housatonic Waterworks Company rate increase petition to the Department of Public Utilities, EPU number 23 through 65.
Do you have a second?
Second.
It's a roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And I. Do I have the next motion?
I move that the board meet in executive session pursuant to MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A7 to approve executive session minutes from the previous meetings of March 11th, 2024, March 20th, 2024, and March 25th, 2024.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote. Ben.
Aye.
Garfield.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
And I. It's unanimous. And we will reconvene into open session. So everyone, we're gonna meet in executive session. There's plenty of seats out there. We'll be as timely as we can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign in.
Taking my juice?
Yeah.
You can go ahead if you want.
You sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, everyone, for sitting through that. We are now in open session. I have the minutes of April 22nd and 29th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of April 22nd, 2024, and April 29th, 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous? Select Board's announcement statements. I'm gonna start off because two are down here that I would pick up. There will be a Memorial Day parade this year on Monday, May 27th in Great Barrington at 11 a.m. starting from Dresser Avenue to the Town Hall. There is a memorial service in Housatonic at, I believe, 10 a.m. at the cemetery. At 9:30, there will be a contingent of veterans at the Housatonic Community Center, but the actual service will be at 10 at the cemetery, and we are invited and expected to be at both. They would like to have a speaker from the Select Board, as we've done in years past. Do I have a volunteer?
I would love to do it. I know you've been doing it. Just, I guess, because my daughter's in the Air Force Academy, so I'm feeling very patriotic, and I'd be honored, but if you want to do it.
Sounds good. I've done 2 years in a row.
Okay.
Okay, fine. And then as an aside, the VFW is sponsoring a picnic at the VFW grounds, a community picnic. The others, we are due for a priority planning session. And the proposed date is July 16th. It's a Tuesday, 2024, of course. So can everyone make that?
Since we last talked, had a conflict on the 16th.
Okay.
Okay, 16th of June.
July.
July, by the way. Okay, so,
That was writing something, but I missed that. Being on July 16th.
but we're not doing it. He can't make it. Well,
Oh,
and this may be a little difficult because of staff. So whatever date we come up with will be very tentative. Thursday, July 18th.
I'm gone that whole week.
You're gone the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clear the week before.
How about Tuesday, the 23rd?
I can do that. I'll be at the 23rd, I'll be at the week before.
So the 23rd, is anyone not available the 23rd?
I have something at 5. It's,
This will be at 6.
well, I'll go from 5 to 8. But. So.
I don't, what I was at, I missed what we're doing now.
Priority planning. July 29th, Monday.
All right.
I can do that. Is that first?
That's a regular meeting.
Yeah. I can do,
No, we don't have a meeting on the 29th.
yeah,
All right.
Mondays are good though.
We have it on the 8th and 22nd.
Showing up in the calendar as a schedule.
At least that's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I just.
If possible to not do the 29th, that is my wife's birthday.
Okay, let's not do that. How about the 30th?
Yes.
30th.
30th would be fine.
Tuesday,
Do it at
30th.
regular time, 6 o'clock.
It would, yeah, that would be ideal, and we still have to make sure staff can make it. Am I seeing all 5 people have a free calendar that time? Right, okay.
All right, I'll check with staff.
Yeah,
and confirm in an email.
We have a meeting Monday, so we can announce it also on Monday, so everyone knows. Okay. We got through that painful part of it. Select board's announcement statements, otherwise, Ben.
I just want to do a quick congratulations there in Garfield on your reelection today, and a thank you to everyone who came out to vote, everyone who came out to our town meetings last week, and a special thank you as always to all of our poll workers for making our elections happen. It's last few years, I feel like have made me realize that democracy can be more fragile than I think I often thought of as growing up. So it's always nice to see people showing up for elections. I hope we as a town can do more to make our elections and meeting more accessible, to get more voters in. And I also wanted to do a thank you to our DPW, to Joe and everyone on the team there. The crosswalks being painted in town this week look fantastic. Great to have that for the start of the season. And then I'm also very excited about the new programs that we have up at the transfer station, the mulch program, the textile recycling, which I'm very excited for, and I hope a lot of people will take advantage of, as well as the flag recycling program. So,
Oh,
That'd be
the
nice.
flag, recycling.
yeah, I believe, right? You can bring.
Yeah, flag retirement.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Flag, yeah. So,
And working with the VFW is always a
Yes.
plus.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Garfield.
Yes, I would like to also thank the citizens of Great Barrington, for bringing me, sending me back here, 3 years to serve you. I enjoy it and appreciate it. Thank you. Grateful for that. Retired officer Zuko, I don't know his first name, came into the store where I was working and thanked me after the town meeting about us giving the money, thanking me because I am a member of the select board. And what he said, I thought was very, very nice of him to say. He said, if we didn't get the money, it would have been okay. That means someone else needed it. So I thought that was very generous and kind of him to make that statement like that. So I'm very appreciative of the money they received.
Nice. Eric?
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you to everybody as well, and how I'm excited for this coming year of work that we have ahead of us. Similar to what I said last year, going around, like excited to work with every single one of my select board members here. I know we won't always agree, but I know that we can get through with compromise and good faith, because I know that everyone on this board cares about our town and our community, and it's just coming up with the compromises to make things work, and I know we can do that, so. Proud to be here, happy to be here, excited to get some work done.
Thank you. Lee?
So thank you to the board for selecting me as the vice chair again this year. I appreciate working with Chair Bannon and all of you. One announcement, I was at BCC earlier today for a housing listening session led by Secretary Ed Augustus, and it's information that they're gathering throughout the region to get to be more informed about their 5-year housing plan and the Affordable Homes Act, which is going through the legislature right now, legislation right now, which will be wrapping up through this session at the end of July. So it was an opportunity for housing advocates to get together and make sure that there is regional equity informing this new piece of legislation that's working itself through. I did want to make note that if you weren't able to address or to attend the session today, they have 2 opportunities to register virtually. And there's 2 options. There's one Monday, May 20th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And there's Wednesday, May 29th from 5:30 to 7:30 PM. And again, this is being led by Secretary Ed Augustus. And it's basically making sure that we have a voice, especially in the Western Mass and the Berkshires, to inform the 5-year housing plan. So if there's any questions, I'll be happy to direct you more, but just wanted to make sure that everyone was informed.
Thank you. First, congratulations, Garfield and Eric. I look forward to this year. Thank you for everyone for electing me chair again. I think this is a really good board and it's going to be a good year. I agree. From the school point of view, which I don't often do, but it really is a town, as also tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the high school, plus there's a link on the calendar to do it virtually. There's a community forum on the building project to give an update on the building project as far as we've gone. And you'll get to meet the architects who have been hired and the owners, project managers. So I encourage anyone who can make that at 6 o'clock tomorrow. It's one of many, it won't be the last, but it's a beginning of a community outreach. So I hope anyone who can attend either virtually or in person does attend that. Town manager's report.
Thanks, Steve. Nothing new to report this evening, other than just another friendly reminder that our reimbursement and relief program for Housatonic Waterworks customers is still open. We're still accepting applications, one per household, for up to $300. And again, that's to cover the costs associated with purchasing bottled water, water filtration devices, and laundry related expenses. I know I've mentioned this all to you, to all of you recently, but at some point we should discuss when we want to revisit the program and reconsider next steps. Also, my last comment on this topic is the checks from round one, which should be in the range of about 110 checks went out. They should have arrived in mailboxes by now. And from what I understand, they are arriving. So I have two other add-ons this evening that were unanticipated when we posted this agenda, but real quickly. We're receiving calls about the Brookside Bridge closure, of course, and most of the questions we're receiving are related to information, people looking for more information about when it will be reopened or what the current status is. The short answer is it is too soon for us to say at this point. I did send an email out to as many email addresses as I have for the folks living in that neighborhood, just to start to open the lines of communication for future emails. We just received the official letter from DOT on May 10th, closing the bridge, and I'll plan to share a more detailed update as soon as we have some information available. For now, though, the detour signage is in place, both in Great Barrington and in Sheffield. We have emergency dispatch and response protocols also in place with our own dispatch center and with the dispatch center in Pittsfield. So the last add-on that I have for this evening is that I was asked to share tonight publicly by Chris, who couldn't be here this evening, to request that people please stay out and away from the area around Lake Mansfield, the areas that are under construction right now. There's a lot of signage, there's fencing, people are ignoring it and walking right in, disrupting the construction and stopping work in some cases because they have to ask people to leave. Contractors, they really need the time and the space to be able to do what they need to do to get this beach and park reopened in time for summer. So if anyone out there is just curious and continues to walk through that area, again, please respect the signs and let the construction workers complete their project. That's all I have.
I just have one question about the crosswalks, the Main Street crosswalks. When will they be painted? I know we have the rainbow ones, but I'm just.
The Main Street.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know, but I can get the answer to that. I know they weren't able to complete them in the fall because of the cold temperatures that set in. So the plan was to get that going again this spring. So, and here we are.
Yeah.
Licenses and permits. Application for multiple one-day beer and wine licenses, the Guthrie Center Troubadour Concert Series, 2 Van Dusenville Road. every Saturday night, beginning on May 25th, 2024 through August 31st, 2024, from 7 p.m. till 11:55 p.m. It's a total of 15 events. Is someone here?
Guthrie Center mic is open.
Okay, good.
I'm here.
Perfect.
Yeah, Annie Guthrie here.
Hi, do you want to give a little shout out what you're doing? So a little free
Yeah.
advertising?
Yeah, this is for the Guthrie Center's Troubadour Concert Series. We've been having them for quite a while now. This is, like you said, every week, Saturdays from May 25th through the 31st of August. These concerts give us an opportunity to raise money for the Guthrie Center and our annual programs and bring music to the community. So if anybody is interested, they can get more information at guthrieCenter.org.
Perfect. Do you have a motion?
Yes, I make a I make a motion and discussion.
All right, we'll have a motion. Yeah, we'll have a motion, then you can ask.
All right, I make a motion to approve one-day beer and wine licenses to the Guthrie Center from 7 p.m. to 11:55 p.m. on the following dates: May 25th, June 1st, June 8th, June 15th, June 22nd, June 29th, July 6th, July 13th, July 20th, July 27th, August 3rd, August 10th, August 17th, August 24th, and August 31st.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. Garfield.
But the troubadour.
What is a troubadour is the question.
What is a troubadour?
Yes. That's the
Oh,
question.
so there was a venue in LA called the Troubadour. It was pretty famous in the 60s and 70s. It's where Arlo and Jackie Guthrie met. So that's why we call it the Troubadour Concert Series.
Doesn't really, I mean, what?
Okay, so I Googled this because I'd like, I Googled this so I could have dinner later. A French medieval lyric poet composing and singing in provincial in the 11th to 13th century.
Okay. Yeah, be sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next is an application for a one-day entertainment license, the Relay for Life of Berkshire County. Monument Mountain High School Football Field, 600 Stockbridge Road, June 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Is anyone here? Some free publicity to the microphone. Name, please.
Good evening. My name is Ray Gardino. I'm the event lead for Relay for Life of Berkshire County. Relay for Life is the largest fundraiser of the American Cancer Society. We're very familiar with Great Barrington. We last were here holding the relay back in 2019. We were here probably 7 years before going to Pittsfield, back to Pittsfield in 2020. We all know how that happened, but so we're back in Great Barrington at Monument on June 22nd from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
We're really happy you're back in Great Barrington. So
We're happy to be back.
do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the one-day entertainment license for the Relay of Life of Berkshire County at Monument Mountain High School Football Field on June 22nd, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yep. Application for a hawkers, peddlers, and vendors license, Hammertown Barn Inc., 15 Bridge Street. Anyone?
I can cover this one.
Okay.
I don't believe anyone's here or attending remotely. This is just an application to the board to obstruct a very small portion of our sidewalk in front of the Hammertown store on Bridge Street. The sidewalk will remain accessible at all times. I'm sure you've all walked by there before. There's plenty of space, so there's no staff concerns also.
So they're actually doing the right thing by getting this license, which many merchants may I add.
We're working on it. We're working
Yeah.
our way down the street right now.
I just had a question. So are we gonna see more of this? I mean, is it just like they have a rack of clothes, they're supposed to come to us, or how does that?
If it's on.
It's a public
town
road.
If it's on
property,
a-
yes. Not every inch of the sidewalk is town owned, though. It's building by building, property by property, so. But when it is in fact on town property, we ask them to get this hawker peddler
Okay.
license, so.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the hawkers, peddlers and vendors license to Hammertown Barn on 15 Bridge Street.
Second.
Discussion. Just because I don't know, and, are these yearly? Do they have to go? Is this a one time?
This is an annual renewal, and this is one of the lingering permits that didn't make the last agenda when you issued the annual real estate sign permits and things like that.
We'll get there.
I'm just curious, Mark, is there a resource that people want to look up whether or not their sidewalk is a public way or private? Is that?
If they reach out to us, we can answer that question, but
I came up a lot in the Main Street project,
yeah.
and so, yeah, it was a surprise to me. All in favor? Unanimous. Application for a common victualler license, Stylin Frank's Hot Dog Cart alternating between 123 Main Street at the Farnsworth Garage parking lot, 289 Main Street at the alleyway next to Barrington Outfitters, Monday through Sunday, 11 AM to 4 PM. Emily, do you want to give a little shout out to what you're doing?
Yep. So, hello everyone, and essentially the same thing. The only caveat this year with setting up in Main Street, the Tom's Toys building is there's going to be, to my knowledge, there's going to be construction happening on the Evergreen building or storefront. So there might be scaffolding there, which it would be a little tight for me to set up. So prior to that, I wanted to see if setting up somewhere where it's easy access for cars to pull in, i.e. Farnsworth, as opposed to foot traffic, obviously being on Main Street, on 289 Main Street. So that is my plan.
Perfect. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the application for a common victual license to Stylin Frank's Hot Dog Cart, alternating between 123 Main Street, Great Barrington, and 289 Main Street, Great Barrington through Monday through Sunday, 11 AM to 4 PM.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Good luck to you, Emily.
I just have a quick question. I've approached a lot by store owners to set up in Great Barrington. It's not on Main Street. And so is it like, can I get a day license there? Like, how would that work? For an example, All That Jazz Antique Center wants
Yeah.
me there on some Saturdays or Sundays. How do I go about that?
I would say it's site specific, Emily. Just reach out to my office and
Okay.
we'll help you navigate that.
Okay, would I have to go up in front of the panel again? The board?
If it's town property,
okay.
or, well, actually, it wouldn't be town property. Probably you'd have to come in here and amend your license, but
Okay,
I'll also we can check with the health department, to see if they have any concerns or questions as well.
super. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily.
I have a question, Mark, just while we're talking about it, just, like the coffee cart that's parked outside the Mason. Does that have a license, or are there places that are starting to set, I'm not picking on them just because I saw them recently. Is that part of a license, or is that, can people like that have kind of, vans selling food, where does that fall in?
It kind of depends where they're parked. We were just having this conversation at my office with the health department. There's really no path for food trucks on town property right now. We don't have a path for them to be permitted. You know, several years ago, when I was serving as the health agent, I was here presenting some options for a few spaces in front of town hall, so it wouldn't block any storefronts, and they'd have access to restrooms and picnic benches and things like that. But to the best of my knowledge, that never moved forward. So right now, the only option for somebody like Emily to sell food is to get licensed through you and use private property.
Or use private property?
Yeah,
So-
and the health
And,
department.
yeah,
And.
and use perfect. I was part of that discussion. It got hung up because if you own a restaurant in town, you don't want a food truck parking in front of you.
Mhm.
And so then we tried to decide, as my memory fails me a little bit, how many feet around the restaurant is protected. By the time we got done, there was no room for trucks. And we just couldn't figure out something that was a good alternative. And the restaurant owners and the landlord said, you know, we pay real estate taxes and other taxes, and we think that it's not a great idea. So we could never come to a compromise that worked for the town.
Even non-food retailers didn't want a food truck blocking their
Yeah,
storefront at that time. I remember some.
you're right.
feedback.
So if we start seeing food trucks, we should assume that they've gone, well, I guess we'll know if they've gone through the proper channels.
They should really be going through this board and also the health board.
Yeah.
So,
So the
if we haven't
coffee,
seen-
the coffee truck, is that, do they have permits? I mean, did they do exactly what I did?
I'm quite certain they went through the Board of Health process. I'm not sure if they went through this process. The trailer's new though.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm
Um,
just wondering why. I'm just
Yeah.
curious to know why they're set up without having to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't,
bet you will look into it after tonight's meeting.
Okay. I shouldn't
Thank you.
complain, but I'm not complaining. I'm just curious to know,
Everyone should be treated equally.
Coffee and hot
There you
dogs go.
Yeah.
there you
That's
go,
all.
hand in hand. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Emily. Citizen speak time. Don't be shy.
You don't have to worry about that. Michelle LeBear, 70 Division Street. I have a couple of questions. Mr. Perensky said 110 checks have gone out with tonic water. How many tonic water users are there?
we don't know the answer to that, but we suspect it's in the 850 range of service connections.
Because I know the answer.
And
That being said, I've been approached numerous times that the process really isn't fair, myself included, because I didn't have receipts. My husband and I bought bottled water. Once we balanced our checkbook, we threw the receipts out. Other people have done the same. So again, if you revisit that.
Yeah, we're gonna revisit.
receipts,
Also,
receipts will always be required, though we have to in accordance with the conditions.
then you're
by
only
DEP.
helping 100 people out of all the 100 users.
So I don't wanna get in discussion because that's not what it's for,
Yeah.
but just remember that this could go on another year because we have money.
Yeah.
So from today on, save your receipts and you still could get the $300 or whatever.
The funding's
When
available.
it goes, the price rates go up, it really is going to be canceled out, but in any event. Also, the bridge on North Plain Road, as you exit Division Street, turn left near Randall House. Is there work going on there? Because there's cones there. I went for a walk at the beginning of the week. There was a ladder going down. So what's going on with that bridge? And if you can't answer tonight, if you could give an update at a future meeting. And tonight I've heard comments regarding democracy, equity, getting citizens to participate in government. And as you know, over the last several months, I've requested 2 items be placed on the agenda: the Division Street Bridge and the railroad project on Van Duzenville Road. And I've been denied having those items placed on the agenda, but what is more of an insult is I've not been told why. And I'm really concerned because we just re-elected a select person who actually met with me at the Division Street Bridge, and he has not recommended they be placed on the agenda. So I will be coming before this board every meeting until it's truly fair and equitable. Because to not tell a citizen, especially a citizen who has served the town, that why it's not on the agenda, I think it goes against everything you just said tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. The newsletter, Eileen. We went to the bottom for some reason.
Eileen, your mic is open.
Okay, thank you. I'm actually for media's time.
That's okay, go here, that's fine.
Okay, I was wondering what the reasons were for the selectmen's not agreeing to sign on to the Attorney General's agreement with Housatonic Water Works. Why did you reject their settlement? The settlement is public, so I don't see any reason for not explaining.
Anytime we would not sign on to a settlement is because we don't agree that it's the best option for residents of Housatonic.
Okay, can agree that that's a logical reason. Why didn't you think so?
I'm not prepared to go into all the details tonight, so. We can put it on a future agenda.
Can you put it on the next agenda?
We're still meeting in executive session.
Yeah, that's, it's a
But
little bit
why-
of a problem, because this is, see, part of the problem is, Eileen, is this is strategy regarding litigation. And if we, Mark is correct, if we do it in a public session, I guess everyone knows their strategy, including the Housatonic Waterworks.
Mm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Go right ahead.
Hello, everyone. My name is Meredith Smize. I am a concerned resident of Brookside Road and also an employee of Eisner Camp. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you to Superintendent Joe Aberdale, Town Manager Mark Quincy, and Police Chief Storty for their swift responses and support during this challenging closure. As we collectively await the inspection report and recommendation from the district bridge engineer regarding the closure of Brookside Road Bridge, it's evident to our borough that the town must explore every avenue available to us to restore access, even if only partially and temporarily. We come before you today to propose an urgent and creative solution to this pressing issue. If the engineering report confirms that the bridge's integrity can sustain the weight of a single car at a time, we're asking that immediate action be taken to implement a temporary solution. One feasible option is to install a high clearance bar and a barrier to restrict larger vehicles such as buses and tractor trailers from coming across. This would allow smaller vehicles to safely traverse the bridge via one lane, alleviating some of the burden placed on our community by the closure. I'm heartened by the positive feedback that our group has received from the Office of the State Representative and the DMV, indicating that this solution could be both feasible and expedient. While we must await the engineering report and consider any additional factors, I do ask that the town officials pursue this option vigorously. The safety and well-being of our community members are at stake, and we must exhaust all available options to restore access across the bridge as soon as possible. I understand that this proposed solution is not perfect and may only serve as a temporary measure. However, it represents a proactive step towards providing much needed relief to our community while more permanent repairs are underway. Furthermore, as we consider the need for emergency vehicles needing access to that side of Great Barrington, having a one-lane bridge open for cars would at least lessen the traffic on East Sheffield, so that in case of an emergency, there's less congestion for said emergency vehicle to get through. We know that you guys are really just starting this process fresh, and we understand you have expertise with the Division Street Bridge, which we are grateful for, and we thank you for your attention on this matter. But we do implore you to consider this proposal for restricted access to the bridge and advocate it with your meeting with the state and DOT.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Go right ahead.
Greg Lipper, with my wife Kate Amory. We live full-time year-round at 99 Brush Hill Road, taxpayers and voters. And thank you, Mark, for reaching back out to us, and that meant a lot to us. So yeah, the suddenness, I know it caught you off guard, so we were aware, the suddenness of it, and the openness that this could be, years potentially, is causing a fair amount of angst for us, and all kinds of inconveniences. And we have kids coming to visit, and worried about them driving at night on these back roads. There's a fair amount of concern about all the traffic that's being diverted to these back roads. And I just want to reinforce that it seemed, we did talk about, we understand, just snap of the fingers trying to find the money and the permits and getting a solution. And we understand that that's not an overnight process. And so just to reinforce what Meredith said, it seems like something that should be an easy temporary solution that would alleviate a lot of the pressure. And just to clarify what it is, it's make it one way. And if the worry is that big trucks, heavy trucks, it's not safe, you can, for very little money, have a bar that restricts the height. You can even restrict the width. We'd all be very nice to each other about allowing one car in each direction. I don't even know you have to necessarily install lights. And it seems that, and then obviously the trucks would, for deliveries and service trucks, oil trucks could go do the long routes, but it would just alleviate all the congestion that's happening for the Sheffield folks too. And it would seem to be a low cost solution. So we understand that trying to find a a low-cost solution. So we have the same interest, and we want to support you in finding a low-cost but quick solution, and just know that it is causing a fair amount of stress, and we're worried about the summer in particular. And then we're worried about the winter and the icy roads, so we have several elderly people on the road, and there's a fair amount of concern. We want to share that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, it's good to see you all. I'm Ryle Duskin Payless. I live at 103 Brush Hill Road. First of all, I want to thank Town Manager Mark Pohensky and also Superintendent Joe Aberdale. You've both been really cooperative, and we on the road appreciate that. And thank all of you for all the hard work you do for our community on the select board. We would actually like to be placed on the agenda. We understand that the state is reporting May 21st. So we're wondering if we might be placed on the agenda June 2nd.
I haven't.
Well, we don't know that.
Okay, well, that was my understanding. Anyway, if not June 2nd, you know.
We'll definitely be on there for a town manager update, so,
Okay.
I mean, we will update you as soon as we know.
And I also wanted to ask, without delay, that the town take steps to ensure pedestrian and vehicular safety on East Sheffield Road by taking actions like posting a speed sign. There's no current speed limit sign posted on East Sheffield Road. Also, we're asking that, you know, there's like this kind of funny kind of triangle thing when you're going there. And so most people are coming down Brush Hill Road and then zipping left. And it's this little teeny thing that the people are also going right. So maybe we can kind of force the traffic around to the other side. The people used to access that road coming the other way, because that would, I think, avoid a yellow line, you know, delineating the sides. And then, of course, there's a lot of potholes. So thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Not seeing anyone else. Come on up.
My name is Jade Madrone, and I live at 96 Brush Hill Road. I'm just sharing the concern about the bridge. I just wanted to share a little bit more of a personal story. I moved out here 4 years ago with the intention of starting a family, which obviously happening. And I was really careful I knew that I wanted to have a home birth, because it's what makes sense for my safety. And I made sure to find a house that was less than 10 minutes away from a hospital in case I needed to transfer. And 2 years ago, I had my first child. It was successful, but I lost 40% of my blood and needed to transfer. And luckily, emergency vehicles could come to my house and get me back to the hospital on time to save my child and myself. And it was fine. Like everything worked out. That's why I lived within 10 minutes from a hospital. And so now I am due in less than 2 months. And my birth plan again is to give birth at home. And it's just I'm just very fearful now that I live closer to 20 minutes from a hospital. How long is it going to take an ambulance to come get me and then take me back? And it's just a very stressful thing to have to deal with, you know, 8 weeks away from giving birth. Like, do I change my entire birth plan? Do I meet these doctors that I've never met before? And so it's just a very stressful position to be in. So if there's any kind of solution, I would just really implore you to try and find it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
One person.
Okay. Go ahead, just name and address, please.
James.
Just unmute yourself. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So, hi, my name is Jim Fagan, and I live at 101 Brush Hill Road. And first, I would also like to thank Joe Aberdale for his support for our community. My wife, Elaine, and I have been living on Brush Hill Road for the past 25 years. And I think I speak for the community at large in saying that we all feel a very close attachment to Great Barrington. In fact, one of the advantages of living on Brush Hill Road is that we can be in the middle of town within a few minutes. Obviously, the Brookside Road bridge closure changes all of that, but more importantly, the closure of the bridge impacts directly on the safety and well-being of our community. As a physician, I am particularly concerned about interference with access by emergency vehicles such as police, ambulances, and fire trucks. Increasing the time that it takes for residents to get into town may be viewed as an inconvenience, but interrupting access by an ambulance or a fire truck can result in life-threatening disaster. The bridge closure would force all Brush Hill Road incoming and outgoing traffic to utilize East Sheffield Road. And anyone who has traveled on East Sheffield Road knows that the road is narrow, curvy, filled with potholes, devoid of guardrails, and potentially dangerous even in good weather. The road is used by runners and bikers, which makes vehicular traffic even trickier. Furthermore, Joe Wilkinson's excavating company is located on Boardman Road, and he has large trucks that regularly access East Sheffield Road, adding another obstacle to the flow of traffic. With the bridge closure, all delivery and sanitation trucks are forced to use East Sheffield Road. With snow and ice, the potential for an accident on this road increases logarithmically. So in summary, it may be extremely difficult for an emergency vehicle to pass through East Sheffield Road during an emergency. This fact poses a significant risk for the families that live in our community. Also, as a pediatrician, I am particularly concerned about obstacles to emergency access with regard to the safety of children attending Camp Eisner. Rerouting all traffic up Brush Hill Road to Home Road and then to Country Road, Maple Road, and finally Route 7 in Sheffield will not only present a very significant access barrier for residents to get to and from Great Barrington, but more importantly, it will impose an unacceptable delay for emergency vehicles to arrive expeditiously at the site of an emergency in our community. So it's very clear we really need Brookside, Road Bridge reopened. Yeah.
And now I'd like to speak.
So give your name and address, please.
My name is Elaine Fagan. My husband Jim and I, as Jim said, have owned our home at 101 Brush Hill Road for 25 years, and we're full-time tax-paying residents. First, I want to thank you, Mark, town manager, for your email and trying to keep us apprised of what's going on. I also want to thank Joe Aberdale, with whom I spoke last week. I appreciated his responsiveness to my concerns and keeping the door open for future contact. For 25 years, I've shopped local and supported Great Barrington, often going into town 2 to 3 times a day. With the closure of the Brookside Road Bridge, I feel cut off from Great Barrington and the community. My concerns, however, go far beyond the inconvenience. I'm very concerned about how long it will take to resolve this problem. The Division Street Bridge was completely closed for 3 years. A 1-lane temporary bridge is now in place, and it's unclear when a new bridge will be built and functional. The Cottage Street Bridge has been closed for 5 years and will probably never reopen. So issues of safety, access roads, and increased response time for emergency vehicles have been voiced. The reopening of the bridge must be not only a priority, it must be deemed an emergency by the town and the state. Whether it's a repair, a 1-lane fix, or a temporary bridge put in place, I'm respectfully requesting the Select Board to recognize the urgency of this problem and to give it emergency status so that it will be resolved as soon as possible. According to Ben Wall, who's our contact in Representative Pignatelli's office, an engineer's briefing will be held on the 21st, next Tuesday. Can you please do everything within your power to move quickly once we know what needs to be done to repair or reopen the bridge? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Select Board time. Ben.
Just want to thank everyone from the Brush Hill Road community for coming out. I know how disruptive this is, and I know staff is doing everything they can, and we'll keep you updated as soon as we hear anything.
Thank you.
Powerful.
No,
Eric.
I have nothing at this time. Thank you.
Lee.
Thank you for the Brush Hill community coming out and making us aware of this May 21st engineering briefing, which I'm going to be following up on, and we hear you. So,
Thank you.
Media time. unanimous consent, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.